Ladies and gentlemen, rejection is one of the most challenging experiences anyone can face. Whether it's in relationships, career, or personal goals, the feeling rejected can shake our confidence and bring a wave of negative emotions. However, what we choose to do after rejection often determines how we grow and move forward. One of the most powerful responses to rejection is self-reflection. Engaging in honest self-reflection after rejection allows us to transform the experience into an opportunity for growth, understanding, and ultimately success. When faced with rejection, the first natural reaction is often emotional: hurt, anger, sadness, or even confusion. These emotions are valid and important to acknowledge because they are part of the healing process. However, after the initial emotional response, self-reflection invites us to take a step back and examine the situation with a calm and objective mind. This practice helps to shift our focus from feeling defeated to understanding what happened, why it happened, and how we can learn from it. Self-reflection after rejection involves asking ourselves difficult but necessary questions. What were the circumstances that led to this outcome? And was there anything within our control that contributed to the rejection? Are there areas where we can improve or grow? It's important to be honest and kind to ourselves during this process. Self-reflection is not about self-criticism or blame, but about gaining clarity. It is a way of holding up a mirror to our actions, choices, and mindset and learning from what we see. One significant benefit of self-reflection is that it helps us identify patterns. Sometimes repeated rejection can highlight areas in our behavior, communication, or decisions that need adjustment. For example, if you've been rejected in job applications, self-reflection might reveal that your resume needs improvement, or perhaps your interview skills require more practice. In relationships, it might bring awareness to personal boundaries or communication styles that affect connections. Recognizing these patterns empowers us to take constructive steps to change, rather than feeling helpless or stuck. Self-reflection also strengthens emotional resilience. By consciously examining rejection, we learn to separate our self-worth from external outcomes. Rejection does not define who we are. It is simply feedback on a particular situation. When we internalize this perspective, we develop a healthier mindset that welcomes failure as a stepping stone to success, rather than a permanent defeat. This mental shift is crucial for maintaining motivation and confidence through life's challenges. Moreover, self-reflection encourages us to reconnect with our core values and goals. Sometimes rejection happens because we were pursuing something that no longer aligns with our authentic desires or strengths. Reflecting on the experience allows us to realign our efforts and ensure that our next steps are in harmony with what truly matters to us. This clarity can open doors to new opportunities that better fit our purpose and potential. In practice, self-reflection can take many forms. Journaling is a powerful tool where we write down our thoughts, feelings, and lessons learned. Meditation or quiet contemplation allows for deep introspection, helping us listen to our inner voice without distraction. Seeking feedback from trusted friends or mentors can also provide valuable insights that we might overlook on our own. The key is to create a safe, judgment-free space to explore our experience openly. Ultimately, self-reflection transforms rejection from a painful setback into a powerful catalyst for personal growth. It teaches us patience, humility, and perseverance. It reminds us that every no is not the end, but an invitation to learn, adapt, and become stronger. By embracing self-reflection, we reclaim control over our journey and build the foundation to bounce back with greater wisdom and confidence. So, the next time you face rejection, remember to pause, reflect, and listen to yourself, instead of letting rejection define you. Let self-reflection guide you toward your next success. This mindset is what turns rejection into a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block, empowering you to keep moving forward with courage and clarity. Rejection is an experience that touches everyone at some point in life, whether in relationships, careers, or personal ambitions. It can be painful, shaking our confidence and stirring feelings of sadness, anger, or self-doubt. However, how we respond to rejection largely shapes our future. One of the most crucial qualities to develop when faced with rejection is emotional resilience. The ability to bounce back from setbacks, maintain inner strength, and continue moving forward despite difficulties. Emotional resilience is not about avoiding the pain of rejection or pretending it doesn't hurt. Instead, it's about learning to manage those difficult emotions in a way that doesn't stop us from growing or pursuing our goals. When you cultivate emotional resilience, rejection becomes less of a devastating blow and more of a temporary challenge you can overcome. The first step toward building emotional resilience after rejection is to accept and acknowledge your feelings. It's natural to feel hurt, disappointed, or frustrated. Suppressing these emotions or pretending everything is fine only prolongs the pain. By giving yourself permission to feel, you begin the healing process. This self-compassion is vital because it lays the foundation for recovery rather than letting negative emotions spiral out of control. Next, resilience encourages perspective. Rejection can often feel like a personal failure, but emotional resilience helps you see it differently. It teaches you to recognize that rejection is often not a reflection of your worth or abilities, but rather a part of life's process and external circumstances. For example, someone else's decision to reject you might stem from their own needs or limitations rather than your shortcomings. Understanding this helps detach your self-worth from the rejection, allowing you to maintain confidence even when things don't go your way. Resilience also means cultivating the ability to learn from rejection. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, resilient individuals ask, "What can I take away from this experience?" This growth mindset turns rejection into a valuable lesson. Perhaps it reveals areas for improvement or helps you refine your goals. By focusing on what you can control, your response and attitude, you empower yourself to grow stronger rather than feeling defeated. Another key part of emotional resilience is maintaining hope and optimism. Rejection can tempt you to give up or lose faith in your dreams, but resilient people hold on to the belief that better opportunities lie ahead. This hope fuels motivation and keeps you moving forward despite setbacks. It reminds you that rejection is just one step in a larger journey, not the end of the road. Building emotional resilience also requires developing healthy coping strategies. These can include talking to supportive friends or mentors, engaging in physical activity to relieve stress, practicing mindfulness or meditation to calm the mind, or journaling to process emotions. These tools help manage the immediate impact of rejection and provide constructive ways to channel your feelings. Resilience is strengthened by surrounding yourself with positivity, whether through encouraging people, inspiring stories, or affirmations that reinforce your value. The energy you absorb influences your emotional state, so choosing uplifting environments can bolster your ability to recover. Importantly, emotional resilience isn't something you either have or don't have. It's a skill that can be nurtured and developed over time through practice and intention. Each time you face rejection and respond with resilience, you build a stronger foundation for handling future challenges. Ultimately, emotional resilience forms rejection from a roadblock into a stepping stone. It shifts your mindset from victimhood to empowerment, allowing you to reclaim control over your emotions and your path. With resilience, rejection loses its power to paralyze and instead becomes a powerful motivator to keep striving toward your goals. So, when you face rejection, remind yourself that your strength lies not in avoiding pain, but in your ability to withstand it and keep moving forward. Embrace your emotions, learn from the experience, and maintain hope. This emotional resilience is what will carry through the toughest moments and lead you to greater success and fulfillment in life. Rejection is one of the most challenging experiences anyone can face. It can shake our confidence, make us question our abilities, and sometimes leave us feeling stuck or defeated. However, the way we respond to rejection can transform the entire experience. A powerful way to navigate rejection is by adopting a growth mindset. This mindset shifts how we perceive failure and rejection, allowing us to turn setbacks into opportunities for learning and growth rather than reasons to give up. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities, intelligence, and talents can be developed over time through effort, learning, and persistence. When you embrace this mindset, rejection is not the end of the road but rather a valuable part of your journey. It encourages you to see rejection as feedback, a signal that there's room for improvement or a chance to try a different approach. This perspective helps reduce the sting of rejection and replaces self-criticism with constructive reflection. When you are rejected, the first step is to pause and reflect rather than react impulsively. Instead of seeing rejection as a personal failure or a fixed reflection of your worth, remind yourself that it is an opportunity to grow. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me better? This kind of self-inquiry is central to a growth mindset because it turns the situation into a learning experience rather than a judgment. Having a growth mindset also means embracing challenges and setbacks as natural parts of growth. Every successful person has faced rejection at some point, but what sets them apart is their ability to keep going and learn from those moments. They understand that rejection is not a definitive statement on their value, but a stepping stone toward their goals. By adopting this outlook, you develop resilience and grit, which are essential qualities for overcoming difficulties and ultimately achieving success. Another important aspect of a growth mindset during rejection is reframing your internal dialogue. Instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed," try telling yourself, "This didn't work out this time, but I can improve and try again." This kind of positive self-talk encourages perseverance and keeps your motivation alive. It acknowledges the setback, but focuses on the potential for future progress. Learning from rejection also involves seeking feedback and being open to constructive criticism. Sometimes, rejection provides clues about areas where you can enhance your skills or adjust your approach. Viewing feedback as a gift rather than a personal attack allows you to make meaningful changes that increase your chances of success next time. This willingness to learn and adapt is a hallmark of the growth mindset. Moreover, a growth mindset helps you detach your self-worth from external outcomes. When you believe that your value is tied solely to success or approval, rejection feels like a personal blow. But with a growth mindset, you understand that your worth is inherent and not dependent on a single event or someone else's judgment. This understanding creates emotional freedom and confidence to keep pursuing your dreams without fear of rejection. Cultivating a growth mindset is a gradual process that requires patience and practice. It helps to surround yourself with people who support your growth and encourage you to keep learning. Reading stories of people who have succeeded after multiple rejections can also inspire you to stay committed to your path. Ultimately, when you face rejection, adopting a growth mindset empowers you to see beyond the immediate pain and disappointment. It invites you to view rejection as a necessary part of the learning curve and an essential step toward personal development. This mindset fuels resilience, optimism, and continuous self-improvement, which are crucial for turning rejection into a catalyst for future success. So, the next time you are rejected, remember that it's not a dead end but a detour, an opportunity to reflect, learn, and grow stronger. By embracing a growth mindset, you transform rejection from a setback into a powerful tool for achieving your goals and becoming the best version of yourself. Rejection is a deeply human experience that touches everyone at some point in life. Whether it's in relationships, careers, or personal goals, facing rejection can bring intense emotions such as sadness, frustration, or even anger. However, one of the most powerful ways to heal and move forward after rejection is through acceptance. Acceptance allows you to acknowledge the reality of the situation without resistance or denial, creating space for peace, growth, and eventual progress. Acceptance does not mean giving up or resigning yourself to defeat. Instead, it means embracing the truth of what has happened without trying to fight it or wish it away. When you accept rejection, you stop wasting energy on resisting the reality and start focusing on how to respond constructively. This shift in perspective is crucial because resisting rejection often leads to prolonged suffering, bitterness, or self-doubt, which only hold you back from moving forward. The process of acceptance begins with recognizing your feelings honestly. It's natural to feel hurt or disappointed when rejected, and pretending those emotions don't exist only buries them deeper. Instead, allow yourself to feel the pain fully. Give yourself permission to experience the emotions without judgment. This emotional honesty is a vital step because it validates your experience and sets the stage for healing. Once you have acknowledged your feelings, acceptance encourages you to see the situation clearly. Sometimes, rejection happens for reasons beyond your control. It might not be about your worth or effort, but rather about timing, circumstances, or differences in perspective. Accepting this can help you detach from personalizing the rejection and reduce unnecessary self-blame. Understanding that rejection is often a part of life's natural ebb and flow allows you to approach it with more calmness and clarity. Acceptance also involves releasing the need to control outcomes or seek immediate answers. When faced with rejection, it's tempting to ask, "Why me?" or "What did I do wrong?" constantly. While reflection is important, obsessing over these questions can trap you in a cycle of doubt and anxiety. By accepting what you cannot change and giving yourself time, you open up the possibility for new insights to emerge naturally. Sometimes clarity and understanding come with patience, not force. Furthermore, acceptance empowers you to focus on what you can control, your response. Instead of getting stuck in the past or wishing things were different, acceptance encourages you to take ownership of your path forward. This might mean setting new goals, exploring different opportunities, or simply taking care of your emotional well-being. When you accept rejection, you reclaim your power by choosing how to grow from the experience. Another important aspect of acceptance is forgiveness, both toward yourself and others involved. It's common to carry feelings of resentment or regret after rejection, but holding on to these only prolongs suffering. Forgiving yourself means letting go of harsh self-judgments and recognizing that everyone makes mistakes or faces setbacks. Forgiving others frees you from bitterness and opens your heart to healing and compassion. Practicing acceptance also fosters resilience. When you accept rejection with letting it define your identity, you build emotional strength that prepares you for future challenges. This resilience is key to bouncing back and continuing to pursue your dreams with renewed confidence and wisdom. Finally, acceptance creates space for gratitude and new possibilities. When you let go of resistance, you become more open to the lessons hidden within rejection. These lessons can guide you toward better opportunities, healthier relationships, or deeper self-awareness. Acceptance helps you see that rejection is not an end, but a transformative experience that can lead to growth and positive change. In conclusion, acceptance is a vital response to rejection that promotes healing, clarity, and empowerment. By honestly acknowledging your feelings, seeing the situation without distortion, releasing control, practicing forgiveness, and focusing on your response, you turn rejection into a meaningful part of your journey. Acceptance does not erase the pain, but it changes your relationship with it, allowing you to move forward with grace and strength. When you embrace acceptance, you pave the way for personal growth and open yourself to the countless possibilities waiting beyond rejection. Rejection can deeply shake our sense of self-worth and confidence. Whether it's a personal relationship, a job opportunity, or a creative endeavor, being turned down or dismissed often leaves us questioning our abilities and value. However, rejection doesn't have to define us or limit our future success. One of the most powerful responses to rejection is the intentional act of rebuilding confidence. This process is essential to restoring your inner strength and moving forward with renewed belief in yourself. Rebuilding confidence after rejection starts with understanding that your worth is not tied to one single outcome or opinion. Rejection is a moment in time. It does not capture the full picture of who you are or what you can achieve. Recognizing this distinction is crucial because many people fall into the trap of internalizing rejection as a personal failure. Instead, you must separate your identity from the event. Your value is inherent, and rejection simply means that the particular opportunity or connection wasn't the right fit at that moment. The first step in rebuilding confidence is self-reflection with kindness. After experiencing rejection, it's natural to replay events in your mind, looking for what went wrong. While reflection can be helpful to learn and grow, it's important to do this without harsh self-criticism. Treat yourself as you would a close friend, with patience, understanding, and encouragement. Acknowledge your feelings of disappointment, but remind yourself of your strengths and past successes. This balanced self-awareness builds a foundation of compassion that supports confidence growth. Next, set small, achievable goals that help you regain momentum. Confidence often grows from taking action and proving to yourself that you can succeed. These goals don't have to be grand. Even simple tasks that push you slightly out of your comfort zone can be powerful. Completing these steps builds evidence of your capability and resilience. Over time, this accumulated progress restores your belief in yourself and your ability to handle challenges. Surrounding yourself with supportive people is another key factor in rebuilding confidence. Isolation can deepen feelings of rejection and doubt, so seek out friends, mentors, or communities that uplift and encourage you. Positive feedback and genuine encouragement from others serve as reminders that you are valued and capable. Additionally, hearing different perspectives can help you see rejection more objectively, reducing the sting and fostering a healthier mindset. Another important part of restoring confidence is self-care. Rejection can be emotionally draining, so prioritizing activities that nurture your mental, emotional, and physical health is vital. This might include exercise, meditation, creative hobbies, or simply resting when needed. When you care for yourself, you reinforce the message that you matter and deserve kindness, which naturally enhances confidence. It's also helpful to challenge negative self-talk actively. After rejection, many people experience a flood of critical thoughts. I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed. I don't belong. These beliefs can become self-fulfilling prophecies if left unchecked. Practice catching these thoughts and consciously replacing them with positive, affirming statements. For example, instead of, I failed, say, this is a learning opportunity. This mental reframing shifts your focus from doubt to possibility and strengthens your inner voice. Learning from rejection is another cornerstone of rebuilding confidence. Instead of seeing rejection as a setback, view it as feedback, a chance to refine your approach, skills, or understanding. This mindset transforms rejection from a negative experience into a stepping stone toward growth. Embracing this perspective allows you to maintain confidence by focusing on improvement and progress rather than failure. Lastly, remind yourself that confidence is a journey, not a fixed trait. Everyone faces rejection and moments of doubt, but what matters is how you respond. Rebuilding confidence takes time, patience, and intentional effort, but it is entirely within your power. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory that reinforces your belief in yourself. In conclusion, rebuilding confidence after rejection is an essential part of healing and growth. By separating your worth from rejection, practicing kind self-reflection, setting achievable goals, seeking support, engaging in self-care, challenging negative thoughts, learning from experiences, and embracing the ongoing nature of confidence, you reclaim your strength and move forward with renewed determination. Rejection may close one door, but rebuilding your confidence opens many more, leading you toward new opportunities and successes that await. Letting go is one of the most powerful yet challenging things you can do after experiencing rejection. Whether the rejection comes from a relationship, a job, a friend, or a dream, the emotional weight it carries can be overwhelming. Holding on to what no longer serves you may feel like clinging to hope, but in reality, it often delays healing and personal growth. Letting go in this context is not about giving up. It's about releasing what cannot be changed so you can move forward with peace, clarity, and strength. When you face rejection, your mind naturally wants answers. It replays scenarios, analyzes words, and tries to fill in the blanks. This mental looping keeps you stuck in the past. Letting go is the conscious decision to stop chasing those answers. It's accepting that closure may not always come in the way you expect. Sometimes, people won't explain why they rejected you. Sometimes their actions will never make sense. Letting go means choosing your mental health and peace over the need for explanation or justification. One of the first steps to letting go is acknowledging your feelings without judgment. You might feel hurt, confused, angry, or even ashamed. All of these emotions are valid. Letting go is not about pretending you're okay when you're not. It's about making space for those feelings, processing them, and gradually allowing them to pass. The more you resist what you feel, the more power it has over you. The more you allow yourself to feel it, the easier it becomes to release it. Letting go also involves forgiving, not necessarily the person who rejected you, but yourself. Often we blame ourselves for not being enough or for doing something wrong. But rejection is rarely as personal as it feels. People reject for their own reasons, often tied to their limitations, expectations, or timing. Forgiving yourself allows you to move forward without carrying the burden of self-doubt. It's an act of compassion that clears the emotional clutter and makes space for new beginnings. Detachment is another essential part of letting go. This doesn't mean you stop caring or become emotionally numb. Instead, It means you recognize that clinging too tightly to something, or someone, only deepens your suffering. Detachment allows you to observe the situation from a place of wisdom rather than pain. It reminds you that your identity and future are not tied to that rejection. You are still whole, you are still capable, and you are still worthy of love, opportunity, and happiness. Letting go also empowers you to reclaim your energy. Rejection often consumes mental and emotional bandwidth that could be used to build something better. When you let go, you redirect your focus toward yourself, your healing, your passions, your growth. You begin to remember who you are beyond the rejection. You start taking actions that serve your highest good instead of staying stuck in what could have been. Spiritual and emotional growth often come through moments when you're forced to let go. These moments teach resilience, humility, and trust. They reveal the strength you didn't know you had. Sometimes the greatest breakthroughs come after the biggest breakdowns. Letting go doesn't mean the journey ends. It means a new, often better chapter is beginning. But you must release the weight of the past to step fully into it. In practical terms, letting go may involve unfollowing someone, removing reminders, limiting conversations about the event, or journaling your thoughts. These actions might seem small, but they create space between you and the pain, allowing healing to happen. Meditation, mindfulness, and intentional breathing can also ground you in the present, helping your mind stop racing toward the past. Ultimately, letting go is a gift you give yourself. It's not about winning or losing. It's about finding peace regardless of the outcome. It's about realizing that rejection is not the end of your story, but merely a redirection. When you let go, you allow yourself to be open again, to love, to try, to hope. You make room for the people and opportunities that are truly meant for you. And most importantly, you remind yourself that your worth has never been determined by anyone else's acceptance. Inner strength is the quiet power within you that rises when the world seems to turn against you, especially in moments of rejection. When you face rejection, whether from a person, opportunity, or dream, it can feel like a personal blow. But it's in these vulnerable moments that your inner strength becomes most vital. It's not about appearing strong or emotionless on the outside, but about finding the courage, resilience, and clarity within to move forward with self-worth intact. Rejection often triggers feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. It shakes your confidence and makes you question your value. But inner strength reminds you that your worth is not determined by one experience, one opinion, or one closed door. It anchors you when everything around you feels unstable. It tells you, you are still enough. This kind of strength doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. It lives in your decision to keep going when it would be easier to give up. Building inner strength begins with self-awareness. When you're rejected, take a moment to pause and reflect rather than react. Instead of spiraling into blame or despair, observe your thoughts and emotions. Understand where they're coming from and what deeper wounds may be surfacing. Maybe the rejection echoes past experiences, fears of not being wanted, or pressure to prove your worth. Inner strength helps you sit with discomfort without letting it define you. It gives you the presence of mind to choose response over reaction. Inner strength also includes the ability to be kind to yourself in painful moments. You wouldn't berate a friend for being hurt, so why do it to yourself? Self-compassion is not weakness, it's a powerful act of inner fortitude. It says, I can be hurting and still honor myself. Speaking to yourself gently, reminding yourself of your qualities, and allowing yourself time to heal are all signs of deep internal resilience. Rejection also calls you to rebuild and redirect. Two actions that demand strength. It takes courage to accept that something didn't work out the way you hoped. But your ability to rise from disappointment and explore new paths is where growth begins. Inner strength helps you use rejection as fuel. It turns setbacks into stepping stones and disappointment into direction. It whispers, this wasn't the end. This was the beginning of something better. Another vital aspect of inner strength is patience. Healing from rejection doesn't happen overnight. You may still have moments of sadness, anger, or longing. That's okay. Strength is not the absence of struggle. It's the commitment to keep showing up for yourself despite the struggle. It's trusting that things will shift, that wounds will close, and that one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Importantly, inner strength reminds you not to shrink yourself because of rejection. Don't start thinking smaller or aiming lower just because someone couldn't see your value. The right people and opportunities will recognize your light. Inner strength keeps that light burning, even when others walk away from it. It says, keep being you, keep believing, keep creating, keep showing up. You can also nurture inner strength through practices like journaling, meditation, healthy routines, and connecting with people who uplift you. These habits ground you in your worth and provide the mental and emotional stamina to withstand future challenges. They remind you of who you are outside of any situation, especially those that try to diminish you. In the end, rejection is not a measure of failure. It's an invitation to return to yourself, to discover just how much resilience, courage, and wisdom you truly have inside. Inner strength is what allows you to walk through the fire and come out stronger, more grounded, and more in tune with your true path. So when you're rejected, don't just collapse. Rise. Your inner strength is waiting for you to tap into it. And when you do, you'll discover that no rejection has the power to break the person who knows their own worth. Redirection is one of the most powerful and transformative responses to rejection. When something doesn't go as planned, whether it's a job opportunity, a relationship, a creative project, or a personal goal, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that rejection is the end. But in truth, a rejection often serves as life's way of guiding us towards something better, something more aligned with who we truly are and what we're meant to do. This is where redirection comes in. It's not about giving up. It's about pivoting with purpose. When you're rejected, your first instinct might be to internalize the failure. You might question your abilities, your worth, and even your purpose. But instead of staying stuck in disappointment, redirection invites you to take a step back and ask, what is this trying to teach me? Or, what door might now open that I hadn't considered before? This mind shift is crucial because it moves you from a place of victimhood to a place of power. You begin to see rejection not as a loss but as a message, an invitation to explore new paths. Redirection doesn't happen by accident. It requires conscious choice and a willingness to release what didn't work out, even if it was something you deeply wanted. It takes strength to loosen your grip on a specific outcome and trust that something greater is unfolding. Sometimes the things we think we want are not actually aligned with our highest good. We may not see it in the moment, but hindsight often reveals that what felt like a painful ending was actually divine intervention. This process also forces clarity. Rejection can act as a mirror, showing us where we were relying too heavily on external validation or where we were settling for less than we deserve. Redirection gives you the chance to reevaluate your goals, reassess your values, and refine your vision. You become more intentional, more discerning, and more attuned to your inner compass. That's how growth happens. Not in comfort, but in the challenge of letting go and moving forward. One of the most empowering truths about redirection is that it's a creative force. Think about artists who were told they'd never succeed, entrepreneurs whose first ventures failed, or individuals who thought they had lost everything only to discover a whole new purpose. These stories all have something in common: the willingness to be redirected. It's not about the setback itself. It's about how you respond to it. You can choose to stagnate, or you can choose to evolve. Redirection is also an act of faith. It's trusting that life has a greater plan for you even when the road ahead isn't clear. This doesn't mean being passive. On the contrary, redirection requires action. It means showing up, trying new things, learning new skills, and being open to possibilities you hadn't previously imagined. Sometimes the most unexpected detours lead to the most meaningful destinations. In relationships, redirection can be especially profound. Being rejected by someone you care about can feel devastating, but it can also be a powerful signal that the relationship wasn't serving your growth. Redirection allows you to step back, heal, and realign with people who truly value and support you. It helps you stop chasing what doesn't love you back and start embracing what does. Ultimately, redirection is not just a reaction. It's a strategy. It's an act of reclaiming your power and choosing to move forward with purpose. Every no can lead to a better yes. Every closed door can point to an open window. Every rejection can become a redirection towards something richer, deeper, and more fulfilling. So the next time you face rejection, take a breath and remember, this isn't the end. It's a course correction. Trust the process, lean into the unknown, and allow redirection to lead you not just somewhere else, but somewhere better.